you know what we're going to do. We are going to check out some more Russian propaganda. Now, we know Prigozhin knows how to make a video, knows how to reach people, get them worked up, get them on his side, really sell his case. But he's not alone. The Russian Minister of Defense, he's also out there putting his message out there. Let's see what that looks like, because he's touring an arms factory. Now, guys, I want to point this out. If you've ever worked in government, a VIP visit, and this is exactly what that shit looks like, okay? Why are these guys all here? Some of them, presumably, are bodyguards. But most of the time, they're not here to answer questions. They're just here to be here. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about bureaucracies that if the big boss is visiting, 6 of his staff have to visit. Every single person, 12 levels down of the chain of command, have to visit. Everyone who's remotely tangentially associated has to visit on the off chance that the big guy will remember you and, I don't know, promote you. It's so stupid. It's so cringe. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, Russia doesn't and America doesn't. Trust me, I spent 7 years as a Fed. We do the same thing too. There's some civilian owner. He's pointing out, look at this tank. It has camouflage. You can see all these young military-aged men working in this factory. Very grateful for it. And yeah, it's a factory. I don't know what to tell you. This doesn't look like anything especially advanced, but Russia, again, has a track record in conflicts of being very good at producing good enough equipment in mass quantities. So you can see tanks ready for the battlefield. What I like about this, that he seems to be doing, our boy Shoigu, is that it's a little less stage managed. It's a little less production. These are still just all fat generals, which I just find totally hilarious. You see the camera work is a little shaky. The audio's not perfect. These are still... There's very limited evidence that he's interacting in any way with the actual people building the tanks. God forbid, actual people fighting the war. But it's still, it's the way that the battleship turns, okay? The Kremlin's been doing propaganda the same way since about 1914. So they're very slowly coming into the 21st century. Very slowly. He's not wearing his dress uniform. That's an improvement. Okay, this is the stage managed dumb stuff that I can't stand. Okay, these are all these trucks. They look like maybe recovery vehicles. They look like they have winches. I imagine they're probably to recover tanks. And you can see they are inspection ready. All of these troops are standing in front of them. I'm sure they have some sort of prepared thing. If Shoigu asks them, they're going to be like, sir, this is the Kamzat 12345 track vehicle recovery vehicle. It has a top speed of 15 miles an hour. Bah, right? This is just peak dog and pony show nonsense. And again, the fact that they don't realize that this, in a war that you're not really winning, this is not the look you want to present. You don't want to present that you're dog and pony showing it. You want to present that it's being built, it's being shipped from a railhead and going to the front lines, which they just depicted with the tanks, right? They edit it in such a way that it looks like they're coming off the line, they're going to the front. But now you've got a dog and pony show. For a brief moment, you saw him look like a real human. It's extremely nervous conscript. Right, got some Russian BMPs. Looks a lot like the U.S. military's ASV. The ASV is actually not quite a, let's see. Yeah, the ASV or M117 armored security vehicle is this bad boy right here, actually. Used all throughout the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. These things had hold bottoms, right? They had this turret, Mark 19 grenade launcher, 50 cal. Was a great little security vehicle. It was maneuverable. The only problem that it had is that it never got expanded. And it was stupid because it did everything a striker could do. But because it politically was like the wrong thing, the wrong idea, they were like, no. Some general was like, no, it's not a striker. The irony is they took everything this thing could do, turned it into a striker, and the strikers were too heavy to operate in Iraq. So we just had to use these. But again, it's meant to fight delaying actions behind the lines type stuff, but it can also function like a BMP functions in the battlefield today, where it's like an up-armored fire support for light infantry and mech infantry. Yeah, they're BMPs. You can see more wheels, turret forward, but they're very small. BMPs are not spacious.
Батальон, полк, бригада, дивизия.
Мы практически все поменяли. Сейчас у нас комплект остался. Мы вот преподаватель, то есть мы курсантов не просто работать привлекаем, они занятия проводят. То есть конспект, то есть у них практически занятия согласно их программе. 565 единиц. Причем это...
Again, they're trying to, this is like a factory, or it might be a depot yard for maintenance. Because remember, what you're going to have is tiered maintenance system. And you've got some fixes, some things break, you can repair them right there in the field. Some things, you got to tow it back to a mechanic or a specialist, but in the war zone. And then there's a tier of service that you got to take it back, right? When it's taken so much damage or such a specific and precise part has broken that you have to send it back to the depot. And this is like what a depot might look like. Some old man taking notes. This is a rare one. Again, if you've ever been to a U.S. government meeting, there's an expectation that people write down everything they're told by the big man.
У нас план 200. Какой 200? Разбирайтесь.
Есть.
Вот и докладно.
Есть.
Что, когда, сколько, куда, кому.
Есть.
Если необходимо дополнительно людей сюда, вот Евгений Владимирович в этой части поможет.
Yeah, this is another very Sovietified system. Again, the U.S. doesn't run it much differently. The VIP comes, the VIP receives all this information, then the VIP provides some completely irrelevant guidance because they're so removed from the reality of the situation. They'll say shit like, make sure these tanks are ready to go to the front line, or when you pull them out one at a time. They just say some dumb shit that reflects their rudimentary understanding of the situation. Anyway, that is all we had of that right there. And yeah, just the Russian propaganda machine is just so bad. It's just so cringy. It's hard to overstate how incredibly cringe it is.